Hello everyone. So this is Satish Kishore, who is working as a security engineer in a private company. So today I would like you to show you about how we do bug bounty and how we do recon for our bug bounty. And I am presenting from OWASP kannur under Vaishnav's guidance, and this OWASP kannur, we would try to offer how do we proceed in security, what are security advices, and ethically how you can try to indulge in other aspects of cyber security as well. So as from the community we have been proceeding on, and for the OWASP kannur meetup, so for the contribution of this OWASP kannur chapter, I would like to try to introduce about how we can explore more into recon concepts of cyber security. So today I would like you to particularly explain you about how we can manually find sites, all kinds of recon juicy files, explorable web directories, so asset configuration and ASNs, and if there are any directory files listed, and what are the possible attacks you can discover at the recon phase itself. So I would be like to cover in a very short period of time, because explaining about recon is a very huge process, and it takes a lot of time, days as well, if we are particularly exploring a particular bug bounty site. And I would like to conclude it a little in a short brief time, and so the hope that you can actually test it in your particular private site as well which you are testing. Also please note that, so any particular site which you are testing, so for example take for example some target.com, make sure that the particular website has a responsible disclosure program. So what is a responsible disclosure program? Let me explain you. So if you go to Google and type a responsible disclosure program, so that particular program will be hosted in a particular security testing companies like Bugcrowd or HackerOne. They would be explaining about their terms and conditions and what you would be needing to report. For example, this is Accenture's responsible disclosure program. So Accenture here would have been presenting what they have to test, and what you should do while reporting a security report, and what you are allowed to test as well. So they have some endpoints here, Accenture has allowed you to test all the domains, subdomains of Accenture, and also they have posted a reporting platform on how you to test. Why this is actually being posted is because, so a company actually welcomes and recommends you to test for any public vulnerabilities. For example, they would like to reward security person, they would like to reward a hacker for finding bugs in their platform to secure them, and also award you as well something, so that you would be continue testing and making them help being secure. So I would advise you only to find websites which are having the responsible disclosure program, or in case you know a company will accept a responsible disclosure. For example, you might know a company which is actually a well-versed IT company, and if they are ready to have a responsible disclosure program, first communicate with them saying that you have some issues. They're ready to accept that, it's fine. Otherwise, please don't report a vulnerability directly to them, or they might come back with some civil cases which you might not like. So approach a company which is already having a responsible disclosure for a safer side if you are not experienced well in bug bounties and aspects of it. And you can explore some other sites like HackerOne, Bugcrowd, or this particular site is being monitored by Synack actually. So few companies are there where you can get into easily, or for Synack you have to crack some challenges, so that you have to go inside. So according to your preference you can go into it. So let's just directly explore into how we can find bugs in a company. So I'm not going to show you a directly hosted bug bounty site, I mean a directly live website to test you, because if I find some bugs I have to report it immediately, because this is going to be recorded and uploaded the next day. So let me just share you some testing site which I can hope you will be using it your live site when you are going to do. So I'll show you the methodology so you can imply the same or an upgraded stuff. So I will be choosing a site you might have already known, it's testphp.vulnweb.com. So just let's just explore vulnweb.com. So imagine this is the site we are going to take for sorry. So this is the home page of Akinetics web vulnerability scanner. So this is actually presented by Akinetics for any security person or any other testers to try out for checking any security attacks in a free safe environment. So imagine this is a website having a home page and there are like multiple subdomains, domains and everything. So also assuming that you might know what is a subdomain, domain, directory listings, directory files, what is CMS and everything. So let's just delve directly into attacks. So first thing, whenever you're going to have a recon, so you would be having some tools like asset finder, sub finder, etc. So let's just directly get into it. So basically when you are going to target a site, so your first impression is to find the subdomains of the file, what is the certificate information of the file, and what are the like domains they have in the same IP range, like, so it is very important. So here like I would like to find what is the first subdomains they might have. So let's just find using the tool called asset finder. So if you give this command like asset finder hyphen subs hyphen only the target domain which you want space like HTTP probe. So this is a Golang tool which is used to say that what are the sites live, which is like the asset finder like lists some subdomains which might be not live as well. So HTTP probe like segregate from them, like give you the live sites. And it has presented as some 5 websites. So it was normally visible in that page itself, but I mean like in that page itself, but still like when it discovered from the backend, like it is giving us these files. So what are these files like? We'll just explain. We'll just try to check for one by one. So it is actually producing a stack trace error. So considering like, for example, like imagine if this was not presented in the home page, like we are discovering this from the while. We are just presented with the stack trace error. We are finding some SQL queries and everything. This is actually debug error. So we are finding some SQL queries and everything. What is the particular error in that error page? So like other than that, there is a Microsoft .NET version being disclosed, ASP version being disclosed. If it is a higher version, it's fine. But if it's a lower version, we might able to find some vulnerabilities like CVs randomly in the Google, and like we can try it out here. So this is an like additional advantage of like finding subdomains apart from the main domain. The reason why you didn't want to test in the main Accenture.com homepage is Accenture's homepage is actually secure, but we might not know what are the subdomains there. We want to find a particular vulnerable, like some different random subdomain, and there we have to go and explore it. So let's just take okay, just take this one. So this looks like a normal page, so but this doesn't look like a normal page. So this is the difference, like we have to find the particular subdomain which will be like vulnerable enough to for us to test it. So like once we find some page we can try to test. So next what step we have to use is like find what are the directories, what are the juicy files inside. So before doing this, like my personal favorite is as well like finding like first of all what this site could actually offer if I am directly have an origin IP of this site. So what is origin and IP like? So every website will have some kind of IP parked to that site. So using that particular site's IP, we might try to find like what are the kinds of ports they use, what kind of like services they offer, like do they have offer like HTTPD, do they have like any Apache hosted somewhere, do they have any SSH port open, SMTP server, anything like. So we can try to find that using some tools like Nmap, but I wouldn't recommend Nmap in over a remote website or a system device, etc. So there are like other services offering, like Shodan is there, Census is offering for a free service. Like, so we can actually try for census. Actually, let's search for census. We'll try to remove these. Okay, so we got some like test php.vulnerab is actually marked to 3 hosts actually. So let's explore like what are these hosts offering. And if you carefully explore, like there is like reverse DNS, forward DNS, which is mapped to this. So this could be a possible EC2 instance, which is like where the website is being hosted as well. So we can try this. So it's actually listing a site which is like additionally like mapped to the Techunetics, where we can actually like this is actually a test page where like XSS and SQL injection can be practiced. So this is how like we discover like some related subdomains and like reverse DNS and forward DNS where it is mapped to. And so apart from that, what I have been saying mainly is like the port services like 22 SSH is being mapped there. So there is SSH service enabled for this, and it is being managed by OpenBSD, OpenSSH. So Nginx is being used for here. So when I opened it, like it opened, right? So that is where like we have to check. So this is one particular like website. Apart from this, like there are 2 other sites. So example, opening this. So I guess it's not the main site because it's being redirected to some other like Zhejiang, China, Shanghai. And so like this is like how you like, for example, this website, this particular like IP range, like what are the other IP range sites, what are the other attackable surfaces discoverable for this particular like instance. So it will be listed here. Also, if it has more than like what services it could offer, for example, like Nginx kind of software products are being used, SSH software products are being used, Linux, OpenSSH. Port wise, if you want segregation, what are the products being used, and location wise also specific, also it's available. So in census also similar results also you can see in Shodan. So for Shodan, like for more than a particular number of results you have to pay for it, but Shodan actually offers you CV level of support. Like for example, a site has this much SSH OpenBSD version is available, it will actually say like this particular version is actually vulnerable, you can actually try the CV for exploitation. So also like in Shodan you can actually go for trying any attacks, like for example any already tried like Google Docs and everything is also available, which you can go and check it. Okay, coming back to the topic, as I said, like since we like found, we did actually like we can find that particular IP address and we can actually check for it. So when I tried for this testphp vulnerab.com in census, we found a similar site which is like mapped to the DNS of this site. So we can find like sites which are like actually mapped to vulnerabs.com's actually original address. So we can actually, if we find any vulnerabilities in that also, like we can actually map it to vulnerab, saying that actually if it's actually your DNS or not, it is actually mapped to you, so that like you can check for the vulnerabilities related to it. So next, like we are coming back to this test thing. After finding our subdomain, what is a subdomain's particular like IP range, where it is hosted, if it has any reverse DNS, particular ports and services they are offering. Next, what I would recommend is go for a directory listing site. So the most popular is actually dir search. There are other things called GoBuster, then DIRB is there. So Nuclei is actually a very famous repository being followed nowadays. So we will explore that. You can actually go for dir search. So I just gave dir search a scan saying that list all the directories and everything within that domain's accessibility. So even if it has like some errors, so some redirect, some not accessible locations also, it will redirect. I have excluded 403, which is like unauthorized request. So even like request not within its range also, it like, so see for example 404 which is not available is also being listed, but there could be a possibility that files is there, but the web server is trying to tell us like it is not accessible. Developers could have configured it for us not to access, but we could explore if we have extended skills according to that. So the 200 request is actually telling that the files are actually being accessible, and 301s are saying that there is a redirect and maybe you can try it in this particular URL. Maybe let's try it. Okay, there is an admin access. It's actually downloading the file. And what about this particular 200 URL? Okay. So let's just see, like I'm just curious about this dot name. Okay, it's again downloading something. There is a card.php. We'll try this. So this is how you actually like explore all the directories and files within the domains range. So not only like these files will be like present in that, there could be like hidden files which is not to be discovered by any crawlers, like definitely not in robots, but they would have like written in their configurations like for us to not explore what are the web directories being found, or we would not have the sufficible word list to check that. So there could be word list in the sec list available over GitHub, or like we can manually create a word list like according to if it's an e-commerce site, if it's a if it's a particular like job posting site, if it's some shopping site, or if it's some different country, like for example Netherlands has their own word list. You can go and explore it like in the sec list word list. So every kind of like a website will have or there will be common names for every website, like images will be there, login.php vendor. So some common sites like admin also will be there, or you can manually like check in using a normal tool also. So FFUF, WFS, so tools like that offer like particular word list, like they have like by default, or you can also like download word list as I said previously, like you can also try it out as well. So these are some of the tools like we have been using for recon files. So there is a so apart from this, like what I can explore, like so what are the front end particles like a website has, like so if you just go to the pages resource, you can actually see like there is like CSS files being there. It is actually having some image files, it is having some PHP files, and apart from this, like there is like .swf, this is a shockwave flash file. So there will be some JS files also, which is like not visible here, but there will be some JS files as well. So where do we like, why particularly I'm like mentioning trying to come about like JS files. JS file actually has some every JavaScript and JS files will try to have some like kind of particular information or a key value stored in their JS file. So that's why like we used to say that like juicy JS files, like the JS files will have some juicy information which will be like trying to explore more about the login pages. We'll be trying to have some like sometimes like there will be cloud configurations being written there, a logic of a website, like how it has to redirect to somewhere, or like try to open a web page from a local directory. Local IP address could be like written there if misconfigured by developers. So you can try to explore that. We have a tool for JS Finder. You can actually find link finder in GitHub also, which is our most popular tool. I prefer like JS Finder to be used a little bit often. So if I try JS Finder, okay, So that means like there's no actually JS files being written for this particular site. You can try for other sites also, like when you are trying for a real bug bounty site something, you can actually try for it. And so trying for that, like maybe I actually tested a site, so maybe we'll try for a real site which I'll be reporting the vulnerabilities as well. So please make sure that you be responsible, like when you are finding the bug in a website, make sure that you are actually like reporting to that site immediately before anyone reports it, even though if it's not validated. Like your web vulnerability might be not a actual vulnerability, or vulnerability could be a serious issue, or it could be just a spam or so. So sometimes like if you think you found something, report it ethically to that company, not like have it within yourself and like try to do something malicious. So the ethical way is to like report it to the company immediately, saying that I found some vulnerability so immediately can you look into this. So this particular like site actually like has a WP JSON. So we'll explain like what is this WP JSON slowly, like we'll try to explore this. So there is a popper.js. So this web page is actually not visible. So there is a WP JSON here. Let's explain more, go more into this. So imagine this, I'm finding a real company site. So I found a WP JSON. So what is the next step, like I could try to possibly go do on. Okay, there is like lot of juicy information available here. We could actually load this all information into a JSON beautifier and try to view it. So what it actually is trying to tell. So imagine this is a WordPress site. So what could I possibly do? There is a WordPress information leak here. So I would like, next my mindset would come like I should go for exploring what are the WordPress vulnerabilities I could actually explore. There is a tool called WP scan, and you can actually try for like what vulnerabilities you can find using WP scan URL, the URL, and your personalized API token, which you can actually register in in WordPress, WP Scan's website, and you can receive an API token for that. So when I try to enter this, okay, I think I already did a scan, so it let me try to show the old scan results. Yeah, so I did a old scan result, and it has a few findings like XML RPC is being enabled. There is a redirect thing, debug log. So let's find it, like if it's actually viable to check in. XML RPC.php. Okay, it's forbidden, but let me check, like there was debug log being available. Is it? Oh, WP content. Okay. So you can see like there are like many local directories like where WHTML is being accessed. There is like some random S3 files being given here. They are using S3 and CloudFront, and there is like some manifest just JSON. So a lot of internal vulnerabilities are being listed here in this particular site. Considering this is actually a true site, like a actual site with like which is being hosted in the internet. So this is not just like a random test site. This is actually a company's production site. So this could be actually a possible vulnerability which I'll be reporting as well. So yeah, so apart from this, like there is like other what kind of error. This is actually an error log file. Debug log file is what are the debug errors like they have been facing, and what are the errors being accessed by that particular sites. This shouldn't be visible, but it's being allowed. So WPs can also offers others, like what is the upload directory. So let's check this. So as you can see, like you can actually see the entire WP contents home directory, and you can find the upload directory here, theme, plugins, catch, debug log, etc. So this is actually a serious issue, like we would like to report to a company if you find WP scan and other issues. So recon actually like doesn't end up here in WP or a WordPress site. So if you find other CMS sites like Sitecore etc., you can actually try to find what are the Sitecore vulnerabilities, how you can try to exploit Sitecore vulnerabilities over the internet and try to exploit. Sitecore has a default password, Sitecore has RC, so you can try to exploit each and one by yourself. So mainly like what I am trying to say is your methodology should be actually like trying to find using crt.sh, or you can try to find in census like what is the particular subdomain they have, what are the subdomains they have, what are the particular certificates, and like what are the ports they have, what are the like services they offer. So if I want to help you out, I can say like for example asset finder and subfinder, amas, these are like your best tools which will help you to discover like what are the contents of a subdomain in the web page. So these will like help you to find the first level of searches, like if for example google.com means what are the support.google.com is there, docs.google.com is there, like you can find using this. crt.sh also offers a very good surface which you can search it. Apart from that, next you want to find what are the IP range, what is the DNS range they are being hosted on, what are the service they offer, port they offer. You can use search using census and showed, and nuclei will come at last, like what you can offer. Set search spotter will be also helping you that. Next level, what you have to do is like you can search using dar search, wfus and dar burb also use, ffuf is also there, so you can actually help it out finding according to you. Next, what I would advise you is to go to the burp suite and help yourself finding all the available links accessible. Any juicy files like JS Finder is accessible like that. If there are any CMS being accessed, for example Amazon, Flipkart, like what is the CMS being accessed for them, if they have their own private CMS, or like they are having any WordPress kind of CMS or Sitecore CMS, I would advise you to find the CMS's particular vulnerability searching tools like WP scan or something, or you can manually go and search it one by one and find some vulnerabilities. So some attacks won't be direct. What is the next phase is like you can directly have to put your hands on manually and you have to find it. So next step is what I was about to say is, for example, if you find this particular site, next what you have to do is like manually go and like click one by link, or like what particularly this link does, what you can actually go and browse it. For example, this particular like thing like artist is there, search bar is there means like we can actually try for some XSS attack. So like you can actually manually go one by one and try for all the attacks. So next, like you can actually try to check in your burp suite, find any attacks being there, and discover what like that attack would particularly do. Here I tried an XSS attack. You can try to recreate it. You can try to escalate that particular XSS attack into some CSRF. You can try to give it to some, I mean like you can try to possibly forward it to someone, or make it a stored XSS as well according to your wish. Escalate into an RC attack or a like LFI attack, something like that. You can try to retrieve some files. So what next step actually like fully depend upon like manual search according to you only. Like so basically like what I would like today I wanted to inform you is like a very quick update on like how to do a proper recon, and how you can find bugs in the recon phase itself, so that like it will help you in the attacking phase. So hope I have like concluded like how you have found recon, like using like our asset finder, dar search, then census and like burp suite. Additionally, like I have taught you like how to do a WP scan search and find for any CMS hosted sites as well. So hope you liked it and enjoyed it. So see you soon, and subscribe to OWASP kannur channel. Thank you.